Next up, I'm going to be watching a Warhammer fan's intro to Gunpla models. But earlier, we were watching a Gundam fan's intro to Warhammer models, and that was a really good video. And even though I started with Gunpla, it's very recent. I started last year, so I still don't know a whole lot about it. I don't know a whole lot about Gundam either, because I've only seen a couple anime series, because, you know, there's so much Gundam. So let's see if I'm pretty sure I'll be able to learn something new from this video. Alright, let's start the video. Warhammer fans intro to Gunpla models.
Hello, Grimdark enthusiast. As you would probably know, the Warhammer franchise, be it sci-fi or fantasy, is built off of decades of lore and world building. While the youngest of the bunch, Age of Sigmar, is just barely 3 editions in at the moment of this recording, it has gained a very loyal fan base in the span of just about 7 years. Even though each of these cater to a specific niche of hobbyists, it's pretty safe to say that Games Workshop has put out some of the best plastic wargaming miniatures on the market, and even more so in recent years. However, in terms of plastic model kits, Games Workshop has arguably been treading water in second place compared to the plastic injection geniuses at Bandai. While people in the land of the rising sun don't use their models for wargaming, the technicality of what Bandai can achieve with their models is legit jaw-dropping.
It is pretty insane. Like, when I was building the entry grade kit yesterday with Nori for the Strike Rouge, it was kind of crazy how, like, on one set of runners there was like a bunch of like different colors, right? It's kind of crazy how they can do that. Yeah, the Holy Land. Aren't they building a Gundam museum or Gunpla museum? I saw something about that, and I was like, "Oh damn, I wanna go." I don't know when it's gonna be complete, but yeah, this looks cool.
You ever see an entire articulated limb printed right on the runner? Don't think so. While some of you may be saying, they cater to different markets, Edward. First off, I'd say, damn man, you ain't gotta be so hostile. Thought we were all friends here.
He's hurt. You hurt his feelings. Yeah, it's corporal versus corporal, you know. Games Workshop versus Bandai. Yeah, the EGs have better color separation than some HEs. It's crazy. Yeah, different parts of the Gundam that go together were on separate runners. Heretics.
But for real, you're correct, as the majority of Bandai's plastic model efforts are focused on Bandai's premier anime series, Mobile Suit Gundam. Obviously, you won't be seeing them making Space Marine model kits anytime soon.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're all weebs, us Gundam fans. Yeah, if you're a Gundam fan, you're probably also an anime fan.
Oh, what? They did that once?
Wait, what?
Let me introduce myself.
Action figure.
My name is John, and I am an avid model kit enthusiast. I have been building Gundam models on and off for at least a decade, and have just recently started this channel with the intent of showing off the various models and builds I make.
Ooh,
so I feel like I occupy an odd niche that can explain to a Warhammer fan why Gundam model kits may be appealing to you if you're looking for something different. While the model kits are affordable and familiar enough for you as a Warhammer modeler, I'm hoping to spark enough interest in the Gundam series in you to not only enjoy the model kits, but the 40 years worth of media and anime the franchise has to its name. Please note that this video is the sister video to another video on my channel where I talk about the reverse of this subject, being a Gundam fan getting into Warhammer. If you happen to either be that demographic or know a friend who is, I encourage you to watch that video or send it to your friends so you can both potentially enjoy what each franchise has to offer.
Enjoy, aka both fall into the rabbit hole and money sink of both plastic addictions.
Before we get too deep into Gundam, let's talk about you. Let's assume you know the basics about Warhammer. Maybe you've been playing for a few years.
This guy in the middle, he looks like the he looks like one of the monsters in Repo, but a little freakier. I don't know. He looks like a Repo monster. He looks like the tall looking guy that says nothing. I'm so bad at explaining. He's like cloaked, just like this dude. He has a bit of a cuter face. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I thought of that.
Maybe you just assembled your first kill team. Either way, you know how to assemble miniatures.
Not
You
me.
most likely have these items laying around. A crafting knife, some side cutters, sandpaper of some kind, super glue, and
Yep.
plastic glue. If not, well, I'm not really sure how you got here, but there are plenty of great tutorials floating around YouTube. Regardless, you've assembled a model kit before, and you have no clue what a Gundam is, so let's
Gundam.
start with the very basics here.
Gundam Utoa. What is Gundam? Gundam Utoa. Yeah, they're called Tau players. No, stop outing the weebs. From my experience, there are a lot of weebs in Warhammer communities anyway. Yeah, it's the nerd hobbies, you know. They all go hand in hand. If you're a fan of Warhammer and Gundam, say goodbye to the whole bank. Yeah, it's so Jover. It's so dayon over. That's a Twinkie sandpaper. I am so glad someone else pointed that out because I didn't say Twinkie but that's actually like very accurate descriptor. Earlier I was like, why is it so freaking thin? Yeah, like I couldn't even tell it was sandpaper. I was just like, is that like a metal toothpick? Gundam Chua, nip on that thing. What did you just make me read? Get out. What the fuck?
Mobile Suit Gundam is a mecha anime series that
Whoa.
debuted in 1979 that follows the story of a young man named Amuro Ray and the 1-year war between the Earth Federation and the Principality of Zeon. Gundam was not very popular in its early run, being commonly cited as the first show in the real robot genre, as opposed to other shows cemented in the super robot genre.
Oh.
Gundam was actually quite...
Wait. What's the difference between that and a super robot genre? I didn't even know this. I didn't even know that's why it wasn't popular. Oh, super robot is a robot treated like a superhero. Oh, like Mazinger. Oh. John Amuro. Gurren Lagann. Okay. Real robot is where it's all about real world applications. Real robots are treated more like military weapons and super robots are like superheroes. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, they're super powered and fight kaiju. Okay. Thanks for explaining. I didn't even know there was this terminology.
close to being canceled, but when Bandai acquired the
Oh, let me backtrack a bit.
genre. Gundam was actually quite close to being canceled, but when Bandai acquired the rights to produce merchandise for the show, its popularity skyrocketed. From there, various sequel shows and spin-offs came about, populating various markets with their iconic mecha designs. While discussing the series in depth is not the focus of this video, I feel that there may be some people watching who are interested in Gundam beyond the model building, as much like Warhammer, the origin of a mobile suit or a character can greatly influence one's attachments to something. Just as fans of Warhammer Dawn of War may hold an attachment to the Blood Ravens, going on to build their own army.
I was gonna say, is that Smeagol? No, not Smeagol. Kind of looks like Dobby too, from Harry Potter. I had no idea there was such a distinction, but now that I know, it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, super robots scream to get stronger. And also another thing that saved Gundam was, as mentioned earlier, when we were talking about it, it was the BL fans. The BL fans saved Gundam.
Fans of Warhammer
The
Dawn of
Whammon.
War may hold an attachment to the Blood Ravens, going on to build their own armies. Fans of the show may go on to build their own personal favorite Gunpla model due to that mecha have a striking design or being piloted by a favorite character. Due to this, we will briefly touch on the anime series. If you're just here for models, feel free to use the time codes to skip this section, as even though my aim is to be brief, I will most likely fail to achieve any sort of brevity here.
I mean, it's like 33 minutes. That's pretty brief in my opinion. Also, it's a bear guy. I might be building a bear guy kit soon, sponsored by Zephyr Arcade.
But by God, I will try.
Oh boy, we're getting into the timelines. I don't even know these. Oh
Just
boy.
as Warhammer has 40 years of history and many parallels between its sci-fi and fantasy variants, Gundam is a very long-running anime series with various tropes and story beats reoccurring over multiple timelines. Yes, timelines, but don't worry, there are no Marvel multiverse shenanigans to deal with. Well,
Gundam
sort of,
Avengers.
but we'll get there. At the end, I'll give my personal recommendations as to which Gundams make for good first-time watches for people new to the series.
Sorry, wait, what did that say? Please forgive the random visuals. I had to change out all the Gundam openings with other footage to avoid copyright takedowns twice. Oh, that really sucks. Rip.
As to which Gundams make for good first-time watches for people new to the series. In this case, you. The first timeline is the Universal Century, where the classic Gundam debuted.
You see.
Universal Century is the most populated, as this timeline is Japan's favorite, and also the first. This timeline is the closest to the real robot genre that the original Gundam helped begin, being a serious, realistic take on the horrors of war and how there are rarely any winners in the end. The Universal Century starts with grounded stories like 8th MS Team and Stardust Memory, but noticeably creeps into higher levels of weird anime tech bullshit as the UC goes on. But due to the extensive world building, thanks to...
What is this footage from? I was just wondering. Oh. No multiverse. This is definitely before G-Quacks. Yeah, this video is 2 years old. They didn't see G-Quacks coming. Thunderbolt timeline is goated design-wise of the mobile suits. Oh yeah, I like Thunderbolt. I heard the kits are kind of a pain though, but yeah, I do like what the designs look like. I haven't seen Thunderbolt yet, but I really like the aesthetic. And the music, jazz. One of the many Gundam game trailers. Oh, okay. So it's video game footage. Gotcha.
Being the most populated timeline, it doesn't feel out of place. The main entries here consist of the original Mobile Suit Gundam, 8th MS Team, 0080 War in the Pocket, 0083 Stardust Memory, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, Mobile Suit Double Zeta,
This is a lot, guys.
Char's Counterattack,
Gundam
Unicorn, Gundam F91, Gundam Reconquista in G,
I wanna watch
Victory
that.
Gundam.
Wait, so it is included in UC. Interesting. Yeah, you guys did say earlier that it was kind of connected.
Most of the entries I just listed can be jumped straight into just fine, although Zeta, Double Zeta, and Char's Counterattack are mostly successive sequels to the original, so you do benefit from starting at square one. The After Colony timeline is probably the most familiar to those of you who watched Gundam on Toonami back in the good old days. After Colony's only residents are Gundam Wing and its movie counterpart, Gundam Wing Endless Waltz.
Oh no,
and
what's
focuses
happening
on the
here?
fight for independence between various space colonies and the United Earthsphere Alliance. If you've had any kind of small exposure to Gundam and live somewhere in the Western world, you've probably recognized at least one of the leading characters, or at the very least, one of the now iconic mobile suits. Gundam Wing is a very
Gundam
common
Wing!
entry point for Western Gundam fans, and while I think it's a bit overrated, I'd have to agree. It's a good introduction to the Gundam formula of political intrigue with giant robot fights flavoring the taste.
Yeah, and angsty teens. Are they teenagers? I think. Hathaway not mentioned, very sad. Oh yeah, he didn't mention Hathaway. That's UC, right? This video's from 2022. Was Hathaway... Yeah, Hathaway was out by then. Yeah. I don't know. God, I miss Toonami. Yeah, Wing. Wing is here.
Another timeline that may
I
be
need to
familiar with
watch.
Toonami regulars is the Cosmic Era, consisting of Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny, its sequel.
See.
If you watch the original Gundam, Seed will feel very familiar to you, with a young Kira Yamato being thrust into the war between the Earth Alliance
Isn't he
and
hated?
Zaf, just as Amuro was between the Federation and Zeon. I'm gonna be honest, I'm generally not a huge fan of Seed, and especially Seed Destiny
No.
in story, characters, or mech design.
No, Mogu likes Seed. Right? Mogu likes Gundam Seed. And also Gundam Seed is popular, right? Yeah. People don't like Kira because of his wild plot armor. It's really popular in Japan and China. I wonder if it's the... I don't know, the character design? The art? I don't know. Seed, you gotta wash my ears. Yeah, Jesus Yamato.
I really don't want to talk on a series I'm not as up to date on as others, but a lot of people like Seed, and I don't remember it being bad as Seed Destiny. So yeah, if it looks interesting, go for it. It being a retelling of the original Gundam means that it's very accessible for new people. I will say though,
Wait, it's a retelling of the original Gundam? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh. I enjoy Seed for its funny stuff and Lacus. I like Double O more. Larger female audience because of the more soap opera tones. Oh, yep, I can see that. Especially with the designs. They look like a boy band. I don't know.
the intros for Seed and Seed Destiny are objectively great. This is not up for debate.
Bitch slap though.
The next major time objectively great. This is not up for debate.
Bam.
The next major timeline is Anno Domini, our very own IRL timeline.
Anno Domini.
This timeline is mostly exclusive to Gundam 00, its mangas, and its sequel movie,
Is this G-Reco?
Awakening
No,
of a Trailblazer.
Wait, no, this is this Double O? Yeah, this is Double O. Yeah, it's the one with what's his name? God, why did I forget his name all of a sudden? He had a really funny name. Yeah. I am Gundam. That's not the guy I was thinking of though. I was thinking of another guy. But yeah, Setsuna, who goes like, I am Gundam. Saji Crossroad? Wait. Yeah, Saji Crossroad. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Saji Crossroads. Yeah. He has a funny name. I want to watch the show too because the character design reminds me of Penguin Drum. I don't know if it's the same character artist or something, but they look really similar.
Below, its mangas and its sequel movie,
Double.
Awakening of a Trailblazer. This one is very heavy on politics, with a private organization called Celestial Being calling an end to all wars and enforcing their peaceful intentions by force. This one is a bit different than previous Gundams, as the suits featured here are more sleek and slender than the mass-produced blocky hunks of junk everyone else uses, which helps convey the power difference between Celestial Being and the rest of the world governments. The series highlights multiple different factions plotting and scheming to get ahead of everyone else, while boots-on-the-ground soldiers struggle to face off against Gundams with technology no one has ever seen. However, as the story progresses, you get to see the tech evolve as the arms race progresses, with Season 2 being a noticeable jump from Season 1 and leveling the playing field, with the movie just kind of getting a little crazy with it, to be honest. Think of Season 1 like this, then Season 2 is this, then the movie like this.
Okay. Wait, what? What is going on here? I'm trying to understand in Warhammer terms since I know a little bit about Warhammer now. Was that accurate? Okay, I'll have to see it to know. Damn, now I'm interested in this too. Is it better I watch Double O before G-Reco? Cause then I'll just go with. Okay, I'll go with original, then Double O, maybe, then G-Reco. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Yokai. Double is unrelated to G-Reco, so you can go nuts. Okay. It's different timelines, so it doesn't really matter. Double was the first HD series. put off G-Reco until you understand what Gundam is about. I think I know what Gundam's about. It's about politics and war and yeah. Right? And hot guys. Maybe. Okay, Nimi, and also model kits. Sorry, it's also about selling plastic, but you know, yeah. I'm gonna eat a cough drop. I'm yapping a lot. ちょっと喉飴食べます. Yeah, the Quanta's so cool. I have a Quanta kit. Got it from a friend. Still need to build it. It is about selling plastic. Yeah. Child soldiers? Yeah. I mean, they're not always children though, right? There are like some series they're younger than in some series they're younger than others, but I think I don't know. Anime, it's hard to tell the age of anime characters, to be honest. Like in Gundam Wing, they look significantly younger, you know, but like when I'm looking at Double O, I'm like, I can't tell. I don't know. That's like a C- answer right there. What? I wasn't wrong though. Okay, I guess I need to elaborate more. That's true. You know, I gotta elaborate why. Yeah, it's about selling plastic, guys. In the end, Bandai wants you to buy their plastic. Like, did you see how they're releasing kits as, like, after each episode of, like, G-Quacks? Like, a new Gundam gets introduced and then they're like, okay, here's the kit. Up for pre-order now. In fact, I think some of those are up for pre-order before the anime even, like, came out. So, it's about selling plastic. It's about corporate greed. Oh no, which you know that kind of is which of Mercury, but anyway.
Then season 2 is this. Then the movie like this, sort of. You get the point. Gundam X is the only Gundam show in the after-war timeline. It depicts a civilization struggling to recover after the 7th Space War destroyed much of the planet. Civilians are stumbling into ownership of military-grade mobile suits, while organizations try to run as peacekeepers, all while the old government rises from the grave to try to exert control on the Earth again. It's a volatile mix of robots and butting heads, which goes about as well as it sounds like it would. Very much recommended. I love the mech designs. The advanced
Gundam
generation
X.
encompasses one show.
Okay, yeah, see, like, this character clearly looks like a kid, you know? But it might also be just the anime art style. Gundam X, my beloved? Underrated? Okay. Yeah, this is AG. He is a kid? Okay. What's your opinion about the G-Quacks Gundam design? So, I think they're fine. They're aight. Yeah, some of them I like better than others. Some of them I'm like, eh. I think the I forgot the name already. Which one? I really like the design of the White Knight. What was his name? Not the G-Fred. The Gyan. Yes. They all start with G. I'm like struggling here. Yeah, I thought the Gyan was great. Yeah. I also think the red Gundam's pretty iconic. I think the face is a bit like there's too much going on in the face though, in my opinion. But yeah, it does look cool. Yeah, the Gyan. I think the Gyan was well received. Yeah. Alright, what is AG? I feel like I'm just getting a rundown on every single Gundam anime series, which I kind of needed, so I really appreciate this. But I thought he'd be talking about the model kits. Maybe he gets into that at the end. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Anime. The anime is important, after all.
Gundam Age, and its multi-generational storyline across multiple seasons covering the 100-year war. What starts off as a spiritual retelling of the original Gundam following the young Flit Asano, progresses into a story spanning across the decades as Flit, his son, and eventually his grandson all join into the war against the Vegan separatists.
Wait, that's really cool. So instead of the 1-year war, we got the 100-year war here. Wait, it spans generations? Ayo?
I love stories that go through familial generations like Castlevania, so this one was a nice watch.
The whole
even
family.
If it did have some slow spots. But, like I said, it's a spiritual retelling of the first Gundam, so it's very accessible for those who want to watch it.
Okay.
Future Century is the home...
My boy! It's my boy! This guy was the best character, guys. In G Gundam. Sate minasan. You know, when he like starts talking about the episode. Yeah, this is G Gundam. LFG! I like Yokachi.
of G Gundam. Future Century is the home of G Gundam, which is hands down the black sheep of this entire franchise. As everything else is real robot, G Gundam rests comfortably in Super Robot.
Yeah.
In the distant future, humanity has migrated to space colonies, leaving the unprivileged to fend for themselves on a rotting Earth. The colonies,
Poor
in
Earth.
an effort to eliminate war, elect a single Gundam fighter to participate in the Gundam Fight, a worldwide battle royale with the best performing fighters moving on to fight in the final Gundam Fight tournament.
Yeah, it's basically Olympics. It's basically the Olympics except Gundam. Also, is there a single Gundam series where Earth is not in shambles? I feel like, well, not shambles, but like every Gundam like universe has like, you know, Earth is kind of a sucky place to be. Yeah, what series? Oh, Build Fighters. Okay, that's true. The Wall? Okay. I didn't know the Wall took place on Earth. Build Fighters is the GOAT. I gotta watch Build Fighters. Yeah, I do have a Build Fighters kid. Somehow has nothing to do with the Tomino usual story approach, but it's absolutely peak. Yeah, Dragon Ball meets Gundam. Yeah. Not that I've seen Dragon Ball. Please don't judge, guys. Please don't judge. I get the basic idea, but I haven't seen it. Tequila Gundam. Yes. What? Yeah. Don't judge. Don't judge. Heresy.
The winner wins the right for their country to rule all the other colonies for 4 years. Think of it like a boring government meeting, but the outcome is decided by whoever the winner of Mortal Kombat is, but the only character you're allowed to play are the cyborgs. Like I said, Super Robot compared to Real Robot. But personally, Gundam really likes to stick to their tropes hard over the years. How many times have I
Master
said so
Asia.
far that a Gundam show was just a retelling of the first Gundam? G Gundam breaks away from the tired tropes of Gundam without straying so far as to make it unrecognizable. And while the content on screen can sometimes be hard to take seriously, seeing giant mecha jump around and fight like Dragon Ball characters, this is a serious show at its core. People get double-crossed, murdered, backstabbed, and yeah, your country might be a bit of a stereotype, like this Gundam just
No, not my boy Tequila Gundam / Spike Gundam because alcohol is bad. Oh my gosh. Tequila!
Your country might be a bit of a stereotype, like this Gundam just having a giant sombrero. There are very little tongue-in-cheek, self-aware jokes about stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, G Gundam is 100% guilty of the weirdest fucking Gundams in the
Yes, another Gundam! Wait, it was called the Hurricane Gundam in US stuff? What the heck? Why? Random fact by Neo Holland made this Gundam disguised as a windmill so it could hide in plain sight and qualify for the final simply due to other fighters being eliminated. And if that's not the funniest thing you've ever heard in your entire life, then we simply cannot be friends. Yeah, it's kind of wild. They just went stealth mode. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna put our windmills down here. The Mermaid Gundam is horrible. I kind of like it. I'm like, hey, it's a fish. I like fish. I'm a simple woman. I'm like, man, I love fish. Yeah, he literally sat in a field for 11 months. Where's
fucking
our
Gundams
kid?
in the whole series.
Where's another Gundam
But
kid?
unless you're super thin-skinned, it doesn't really feel offensive because,
Yeah.
I don't know, it feels like everyone... It's not like the end of a joke.
Yeah, it feels it's very lighthearted, you know. It feels like it feels a little innocent. Yeah.
Like, even the fighter for Neo Mexico, whose Gundam has a giant sombrero on it, no one laughs at the sombrero or anything. And the character himself is actually really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm half Filipino. You know what I would do if the Neo Philippines Gundam's primary weapon was karaoke, like some kind of fucked up noise marine? I'd laugh, because it's 100% true. The correct sentry...
It would be a Jollibee attack. I still need to try Jollibees. There's no Jollibees near me. One day I will get the Jollibees. Did you guys see that it was getting an Android? That's kind of crazy. The mascot character. I think the mascot's pretty cute. Jollibee appeared in Gundam Hathaway? What? Actually? Jollibee is canon in the UC timeline? Wait, no way. What? Wait, this sounds so good. Okay, so Jollibee is an actual anime character. No wonder they made an Android figure of him. Damn, I didn't know the context. I wish someone told me that earlier. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so Jollibee, Nendroid featuring Jollibee from Gundam. I see. Naruhodo. Yeah. The mascot appeared in everything. Whoa, I love it when my Japanese anime subtly inserts ads. Very subtly. Bandai, please, I beg Jollibee Gunpla. I mean, we might not be too far off. Maybe if the Nendroid does well. The food chain was in Hathaway as a sponsor, not the mascot. I see. Alright, so now coming up is correct century. Oh, correct century. Interesting. Why is it called the correct century?
That is not an opinion.
Oh, let me go back. Alright.
100% true. The correct century, no, that is not an opinion, is home to Turn A Gundam. A bit of an outlier.
Oh!
It is both a standalone series and the overlapping timeline conclusion to multiple Gundam timelines. So how does that work?
I can't get used to how the Turn A Gundam looks like Whitebeard. Like he's got that, you know, mustache pointing upwards. Can't get used to it.
It's kind of a healthy mix between an homage to other Gundam timelines and its own in-universe shenanigans. During the events of Turn A, or rather before Turn A, there was a war of such apocalyptic scale that most technology in the galaxy was destroyed by nanomachines. The Earth is mostly reliant on limited steam power technology,
Nanomachines,
while the
son!
moon race stormed the planet with mobile suits, with the intent of returning to Earth through means of warfare.
By the way, the soundtrack in the show is so good. I have not seen the show, but I was listening to the soundtrack because I believe it was done by I forgot her name all of a sudden. Can someone tell me? Very famous composer that has done a lot of famous anime. Yoko Kanno. Yes, it's done by Yoko Kanno. So I was listening to the soundtrack. I'm like, damn, this is so good. Gerard, welcome in. Look at the Spain Gundam called the Matador Gundam. Yes, I've seen the show. I've seen that guy. It is a very busty Gundam. I'm like, how does that thing move? It has a cockpit that is literal? The Turn A Gundam has a literal cockpit? What? What does literal cockpit mean? Do I need to look this up? I think you'd enjoy Turn A, yeah? Wait, so can I just watch... So Turn A is its own thing, right? Because it's correct century. So I could just watch it on its own? Technically, you could watch any Gundam on its own, but... Wait. It's down there? Wait. Turn A Gundam. Hold up. We interrupt your broadcast with... Okay, here's the guy. So I can show you guys. Wait, that's the cockpit. why'd you tell me? Now I can't unsee. Yeah, it just drops down. Who came up with this? I already thought this guy's design was whack when I was looking at, you know, his face. And now you're telling me the cockpit is down there. Okay, Sid Mead. I don't know who this guy is, but what else? What else have they done? Oh, they're an American designer or what? Interesting. Okay, they design... Oh, they would design like futuristic cars? Funny enough, they even made a gag out of it and Build Fighters Try. Oh, so they're self-aware. Okay. So it wasn't like an accident. I mean, okay, to be honest, they have to be aware, right? What a visionary. Wait. Maybe it's because he's American that he was able to come up with something like this, you know? He was like, haha, this would be a funny pun. Haha, cockpit, ha, get it? Ha, ha, you know? Oh, but Tomino was the one that came up with it? Okay. Never mind. Tomino is the real visionary. Why? Okay, it's funny though. It's funny. Yeah. He's one of the most powerful Gundams? Well, you know why? You know? Look at him asserting his dominance. Anyway, that's enough turn A. The wings spread apart and the cockpit descends. 完璧なデザインだ。ユーシュさんいらっしゃい。そう、ちょっとね、今日単位について、いろいろ知りました。コックピットについて、面白い位置にありますね。ガンダムの動画見てます。なんかガンダムのね、なんて言うんだろう。イントロ的なそう、なんかいろんなシリーズの。I prefer turn X, but turn A is fine too. Why are there so many turns? Why is it turn insert letter here? I'm turn on. Stop! Anyways. Wow, you guys are true visionaries.
Mobile suits, with the intent of returning to Earth through means of warfare. Lauren, the protagonist, is a member of the moon race sent to live on Earth to scout it out for the invasion. He utilizes the Turn A Gundam to stop the war, torn between his life with the Earth folk and his origins with the moon race. Turn A is a bit more niche in the Gundam fan base, but those who can appreciate its unique designs are very diehard fans, myself included. While it occupies a weird spot in timelines, it's perfectly accessible on its own and doesn't require prior watching to enjoy cute femboys. The latest...
Wait, fanboys?
Require prior watching to enjoy cute femboys.
Oh, fanboys, sorry. I don't know why I said fanboys. Oh. No wonder it's popular. It's because of the fanboys. Fanboys. That's the main character? Wait. They were a femboy? Man, you know, at first I was looking at the Turn A Gundam and I'm like, man, I don't know if that Gundam's up my alley. I don't know about the design. It looks like Whitebeard. But now I am interested. Yes. This video and you guys have sold me on Turn A. Okay. Yoko Kanno soundtrack, check. Literal cockpit, check. Fanboys, check. I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. Yeah. Enough said.
The latest Gundam to hit good numbers in the West is Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans in
Yeah!
the post-disaster timeline. 300 years after the Calamity War, people living on a terraformed Mars began to push back against Earth for their independence. The story follows a bunch of rowdy kids who establish their own security company tasked with escorting an important political figure to Earth to negotiate peace.
I like Mikazuki
This
too.
one is a much more grounded story, with fights being gritty, ground-based skirmishes and brutal melee combat. Just to put the general warfare change into perspective, the Gundam signature armaments over the decades are a beam rifle and a shield, with possibly some beam sabers. The lead Gundam in IBO, Barbados, uses a giant fucking mace,
Barbie!
with random shit being stapled onto it as time goes because the company is struggling with rent.
Oh yeah, I forgot this also had corporate greed in it. What was I gonna say? Yeah, in IBO there's a lot of like fist fighting, you know, which usually in Gundam you see a lot of like laser action, but in IBO it's like bam 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 bam, you know, they're just like it's raw action. Yeah. Mikazuki's a cold ass bastard. He shot a man point blank range without hesitation. Mikazuki is he's like, he lacks a lot of emotion, but I kind of like characters like that. So, yeah, IBO is the depresso. Yeah, IBO is super depressing. It's written by Okada Mari. Also was my first Gundam show that I watched. Yeah. Lasers cost money. True. They're broke. These kids are broke, man.
It's certainly a throwback to the real robot spirit early Gundam had. Alright, that was the last non-meta Gundam timeline. Oh wait, I forgot about the meta timeline. Look, you know when I said not to worry about it? It's time to worry about it.
Oh boy.
The producers at Gundam looked at their massive series, sipped their fourth dimensional coffee and said, you know what? Let's make a show about us. But we're a Gundam timeline. The Build universe, which in reality is tangentially related to Anno Domini, but whatever, is a show where the in-show characters are Gundam fans, with every other Gundam show being a series within their anime.
This is our dream. This is what we want to do, you know, as Gundam fans. We want to pilot the robots we build. Oh, it is a cool concept. Just like us, for real, for real.
Additionally, Gunpla and their universe have been given motion via advanced particle tech, and people use their Gunpla models to fight in VR arenas, and eventually an entire VR MMO. If you played Custom Robo on the GameCube, it is quite literally the exact same shit. There's even Gunpla's Secret Police Force.
Oh.
It's very meta, but honestly it kind of works.
Oh my gosh, wait! My beloved! Wait.
Police Force. It's very...
The SD... what are they called? The knight. The knight. I actually wanted the kit for this guy, but I don't have it. Yeah. He's so cool. Yeah, the knight. The knight Gundam's so cute. Yeah, the XD Knight Gundam. This is what the tabletop game should be. Yeah, if only. One day, guys. One day we'll get there. Yeah, Gunpla Scanny in video games. Emuri dayon. Am I interrupting? Well, too bad. Did you know that only like 4% of you guys are subscribed? I would appreciate if you guys subscribe because it would bring me great joy and motivation. Yeah, please subscribe. Thank you. Have you heard of Angelic Layer? It's like that. I've heard of Angelic Layer, but I haven't seen it. I like the art in it. Was it Clamp? Wait, no, maybe it wasn't Clamp. Let me look it up. Yeah, it was Clamp. Yeah. I need to read this. Why haven't I read this yet? Yeah. I see the resemblance though, because I think yeah, Angelic Layer, they also have like robots that fight each other. Yeah, Clamp's art is so good. Is the anime pretty good too? Yeah.
Meta, but honestly...
Oh, wait, let me go back.
Shit, there's even Gunpla's Secret Police Force. It's very meta, but honestly it kind of works. If you're an outsider to this hobby, which you probably are, assuming you're watching this YouTube video at this moment too,
totally.
It lends a lot to the perspective as to why people can be fans of Gundam. It can be easy to...
Oh, wait, you're right. That was the Gyan. Yeah, I was like, oh, it looks kind of familiar, but I didn't pause on it, yeah.
Lot to the perspective as to why people can be fans of Gundam.
Oh my gosh, bear
it
guy.
It can be easy to write this meta timeline off as a toy commercial Which, yeah, fair. They're not exactly subtle with the buy our Gunpla ads. But the first Build Fighters anime is genuinely some of the best Gundam content in the series. Highly recommended for all levels of Gundam familiarity. Except Build Fighters Try, that one sucked.
There's a Build Fighters Try. Is this related? Is this like what is up with Try? Like Digimon Try, Build Fighters Try. What's up with Try? Oh, it's spelled T-R-Y. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking T-R-I, like Digimon Try. Okay. All right. Season 2. Oh yeah, a lot of people said they didn't like season 2. Yeah. Okay, I'll just watch season 1.
Okay, that took way too long. So let me wrap up this section with my personal recommendations.
17 minutes isn't bad.
If you want the raw Square One experience, watch the original Gundam. If you don't mind starting in a meta timeline or want your show to feel like Yu-Gi-Oh!, watch Gundam Build Fighters. Yes, we have Gundam games.
It does give Yu-Gi-Oh! Vibes. I think it's because of the character design. You know, it's not typically what I see from Gundam, right? It gives the Digimon Yu-Gi-Oh! vibe.
Gundam games on motorcycles in this anime. If you want to jump straight into the nitty-gritty realism, or you play Imperial Guard, especially Katachan, start with 8th MS Team.
I want to watch this. Season 2 has cute girls? Okay.
If you want that nitty-gritty realism, but also severe depression, watch War in the Pocket.
War in the Pocket?
If you were born in the early 90s and don't mind...
Wait, I need to look this up. Gundam War in the Pocket. I don't think I've seen this before. Takes place during 0079's events? The Vietnam War Gundam? Oh no! Super dark? Victory is depressingly good and bad? How is it both? War in the Pocket is probably the best Gundam series just in general. Why is it the first time I hear of it? War in the Pocket is like the definitive message that Gundam was trying to convey to me. You'll never see burgers the same way after watching War in the Pocket. Oh no, but I like burgers. Guys, I like burgers. Kid trauma. I thought I already saw kid trauma through like IBO. It's quite brutal. Also, I heard Thunderbolt was really brutal as well. Still haven't seen it, but I heard Thunderbolt was fucked up. Tomino was at his peak depression writing. It has some real questionable writing decisions. Okay. It's only 6 episodes of OVA. Oh no, it's one of those. It's just like Thunderbolt. Oh, you're talking about Victory, Izu. Okay, gotcha. Thanks for clarifying. Oh. Please don't watch Victory Gundam unless you really like depression. This was Tomino Unhinged. Okay. I thought Gundam in general was supposed to be depressing. War in the Pocket has a better understanding of the effect of war on civilians. Oh. High recommend. Okay, that's interesting. That sounds really real. Realism. It's also just good looking. Okay.
If you were born in the early 90s and don't mind a bit of political slog and or spent hours arguing about boy bands, watch Gundam Wing. If you did the same but in the early 2000s, watch Gundam 00.
Okay.
If you like dull light shows or you play Tau, watch Gundam Seed. There, I made the Tau joke. I'm sorry. If you really hate yourself, regardless of Army, watch Seed Destiny afterwards. If you want to watch a fancy eye candy show, watch Gundam Unicorn.
Ooh.
And if you want a very unconventional Gundam where a giant samurai robot and the other Planeteers have a straight-faced ideological conflict with literal Satan, then beating the shit out of each other, hot blood wuxia style, watch G Gundam.
It's so lit, guys. It's so lit.
Oh, okay. That took way too long. Let's talk
I do
about
not
some
regret
fucking
watching
models already.
I loved it. Okay, well, guys, but okay, we spent like over half the video on what is Gundam, but what is Gunpla? What is Gunpla? This is seed slander. Yeah, Mogu would like to have a talk with this man, with John. There's just too much NTR and seed. Oh, no wonder they love it in Asia or Japan and China. It's the NTR. No wonder. Man, I should have known. It was the NTR all along. No wonder it's popular. It all makes makes sense now, guys. I was trying to figure this out earlier. I was like, is it the character designs? No, it's NTR. Yeah. Naruhodo. Naruhodo.
Gunpla is short for Gundam plastic model. Not very complicated. Sometimes you'll also hear Plamo, which is plastic model.
Plamo!
But obviously that's a bit more of a general term, but Gunpla falls underneath. While 90% of their Gunpla range is dedicated to the mobile suits and Gundams that star in the respective anime, there are kits for more niche parts of the Gundam universe. Gunpla are combination plastic models and action figures. How does that work?
The bases.
Gunpla joints utilize soft ABS plastic sockets called polycaps that, when joined together with various subassemblies, give the model a range of articulation akin to or superior than Figmas or other action figures. This articulation gives Gunpla a wide appeal, as casual demographics can focus on Gunpla as a build-it-yourself posable action figure, while more serious modelers can focus on modeling techniques that share a lot of ground with hardcore vehicular modeling.
Oh, there's a lot of Gundam theft in Gundam Seed. Oh, that's what so that kind of NTR? Or is it like character NTR as well? I think both will be pretty funny. Look, you can say what you want about NTR. I think it's... I'm not into it. I think it's funny, though. I think it can be funny. Yeah, okay, so I should watch Gundam Seed. Yeah, it's entertaining. Yeah. It's pretty entertaining. Anyway.
Things like plastic tanks and Gunpla both feature plenty of flat paneling and are about the same size anyways. But speaking of size, clever transition.
Gunpla grades. Yeah, this is... Oh my god, here we go, guys. The grades. Wait, are these all sections? Yeah, they are. Stardust Memory has the most infamous NTR. Gundam Stardust Memory. Oh, 083. Okay. Wait, isn't this Arch's favorite? I think it is. It's like, it's a movie, right? Maybe? Think on this Bandai Gundam kits no longer use polycaps. Oh, they don't? I thought they did. I always thought they were just polycaps. The newer HE kits don't use polycaps anymore. What? I didn't know that. I was probably building the newer kits and I never realized. Yeah. Stardust Memory is the only UC series that has NTR. Oh, it's 12 episode OVA. Oh. Sorry, I thought it was a movie. A lot of these are OVAs, huh? Okay. Seed is fine, Destiny is a disaster. I think that's what this guy was kind of saying. Actually, this guy was kind of hating on Seed altogether, but he was like, yeah, Destiny is even worse. Okay. Naruhodo.
Before you go out and buy a cool looking Gunpla, you should know about the physical size and scale of the model kits, which have been categorized by Bandai into different grades. No, you're not being graded on this video, is what I would say if there wasn't a quiz at the end. But there isn't. Or is
okay, don't worry, Nyakama. I have a quiz for you. I prepared one ahead of time. I saw this coming. No, I'm joking.
There are many niche grades and scales, but I'll cover the most common ones here. Note that when I say something like 1/144th scale, it means that the model is a fraction of the original's in-universe height. In reality, this translates to the majority of the kits to fall anywhere between 5 to 14 inches in height. The first grade is called the entry grade. These are deliberately simpler kits that sacrifice articulation and detail for their low cost, rarely going over $12 at most.
I really like these.
These are great for people with cold feet or a younger cousin or something. A nice spot to test the waters, but for some reason harder to find than the next grade we'll be covering.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of these. I hope they keep making more. I mean, it is hard to find just because it's, I guess, a newer grade that they were that was introduced. Dude, the new Gundam was really good. The new Gundam entry grade kit. I think that's the best one so far that I built out of the entry grades. Which I built 3. Yeah, but I think the new Gundam was the best. And it's just really large, too. Yeah. Yeah, Wing Gundam this fall joins entry grade. I want to get it. I'm also missing I think the Log Gundam. I think that also has an entry grade. Yeah. Shame it doesn't have the funnels. Yeah, does it not even have it as an add-on? Like, I know sometimes they sell it separately. Not that I'd buy it, but yeah. No, I wouldn't buy it for like an entry grade. Yeah.
The next grade is called the high grade. At 1/144 scale, most of these models end up standing about 6 to 7 inches tall. The high grade scale is very popular, known for the massive variety and selection of mobile suits, while also being a good price, usually anywhere between $15 to $30 per kit. A kit's price will usually be relative to the kit's age and how much plastic comes in the kit. If you're used to paying $60 for a single unit of Warhammer infantry, buying 2 or 3 kits for the same price might be kind of jarring. In my experience, entry grades are good for practice, but high grades aren't that much more complicated, so you can comfortably jump.
Ooh, wait, what is this? HEBDR Wodom Pod. I've never seen this before. It's from Build Divers? What is this guy? It's kind of cute. Yeah. Entry grades are fantastic for practicing customization skills on. Yeah. I want to mod my EG new Gundam like Ray Studios. Yeah, Ray Studios made some videos like that. Yeah. You guys should go for it. Yeah, they're cheap and you don't feel as bad when you mess up, right? They're pretty good. Does it curl up into a ball? Does it? It's based on the Wadum from Turn A. Oh, it's from Turn A. Okay. Finally, I found something design-wise that I like from Turn A. The main character of Stardust Memory makes a face known as the NTR face. Search Ko Uraki face meme. Ko Uraki. Okay. How have I seen this? I'm looking it up. Ko Uraki. Oh, this is an this is the NTR face. Am I looking at the right thing? He's like gritting his teeth together. He's like, It kind of transforms while the base for it. Okay. Hides a secondary Robo Girl as the main body that pilots it. Robo Girl. Interesting.
So you can comfortably jump past an EG into an HG, even with little to no experience.
Ooh.
The SD scale, or Super Deformed scale, are essentially chibi Gundams standing only a few inches tall. If you happen to remember that old show SD Gundam Force, that's SD Gundam.
I need to watch this. You know what's really funny? I was listening to a song. I was listening to a Gundam songs playlist, and there was a song that came up that I recognized because I've heard the song before. I know the group that sings it. I just had no idea it was from Gundam. Like, this whole time I thought the song was like standalone. Like, I didn't think it was from an anime. But turns out it's from SD Gundam. I think it was it Kokoro Odoru? Maybe? No, it might be a different song. I don't remember. But I forgot the title, but I was just shocked that it was from SD Gundam because this entire time I thought it wasn't from an anime. I wanna build an MGSD. I want Ariel MGSD when it comes out.
They're also solid for a beginner's choice of model, as these are usually on the cheap and very simple side. The most expensive SDs barely scratching $30. SDs are very easy to assemble and have a large selection of mobile suits and some exclusive SD only designs, ranging from classic UC suits to whatever this over-designed garbage is. In this case, SD stands for Steamy Dump, but nevertheless.
I like these guys too.
SD kits are smaller than normal, maybe about 4 inches on
what did he say about SD?
But nevertheless, for this
Steamy Dump
garbage is. In this case, SD stands for Steamy Dump, but
Steamy
nevertheless.
Dump.
SD kits are smaller than normal, maybe about 4 inches on the reg.
Yeah,
Their pieces are generally not that tiny, so you usually don't have to worry about anything being too fiddly.
Yeah, I like the Sengoku SDs. Not that I have any. Actually, I think I have one. I have one, yeah, I think. Was it a Sengoku? Never mind. It might have not been a Sengoku one, but this guy looks cool. Yeah. The Three Kingdoms SDs. MGSD Barbatos. Yeah, that one looked really nice too. That was on my wish list until I got the actual MG Barbie, and I was like, okay, I should probably wait on getting the MGSD.
The next grade is Master Grade at 1/100th scale.
Oh, this is where it gets bigger. I don't like the Sengoku SDs for the amount of work needed to make them look good. That's actually really fair. Yeah, they are quick to build, but you do have to line them to make them look like the picture and stuff. Yeah, that is very fair. Even like the finishes are different in the pictures, I think. MGSD Barbie is pretty good in a different way too. I'm excited.
These models usually stand about 8 to 10 inches tall and are assembled a bit differently from a high grade. Featuring a higher parts count due to the increased size, the majority of master grades feature an internal frame or skeleton
I like the sniper
that you
pose.
assemble first, then attach armor parts onto. Think of it like Guyver. You gotta build show before you put the Guyver on. The variety here is not as comprehensive as
the
high
wings.
grades, but the increased size and the more detailed kits in the MG range is more appealing to those who don't want to work on tiny kits, which, if you're coming from Warhammer, probably isn't that much of a problem for you. These kits usually run anywhere from $50 to $100, once again depending on age and the amount of plastic that's in the accessories and whatnot. The real grade line is a newer line of 1/144 scale Gunpla.
Oh, the God Gundam!
That focuses on bringing master grade quality and parts separation to the high grade scale. These are hands down some of the best looking 1/144 scale
It looks
Gunpla.
so nice.
But be warned that RG kits are
Look at that cape! What? This is the Crossbone Gundam. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm looking at his back and, you know, they look like crossbones. RG, my favorite. Yeah, a lot of my friends like RG. And after I built probably one of the best RGs, you know, I feel pretty convinced. I think that did top all my builds as the best build so far. But also I haven't built an MG yet. That cape needs some Nuln oil. Yeah.
1/144 scale Gunpla.
Sure does.
But be warned that RG kits are replete with tiny, fiddly parts. As I've said, coming from Warhammer, it might not be that bad for you.
Inner frame.
But I'd still suggest a high grade as a first kit until you get used to things. After all, there is a reason the RG Zeta is affectionately known as the RG hand grenade. The final grade we'll be covering are the perfect grades. Perfect grades are the pinnacle of Gunpla kits, standing as a testament to Bandai's plastic wizardry. At 1/60th scale, these towering behemoths stand about a foot tall and come with a full inner frame and near perfect detailing and proportions. It's not uncommon at this scale to also include LED kits to give your PG light effects, most notably on kits like the 00 Riser and the Unicorn. These features are costly though, with the
Man, that looks so cool. Yeah, RG hand grenade Zeta.
on kits like the 00 Riser and the Unicorn. These features are costly though, with the oldest perfect grades hovering at about $150, but most hitting about $250, with some outliers even hitting $350 or even $500. It's highly recommended to get quite a bit of experience with Gunpla and other plastic model kits under your belt before trying to tackle a perfect grade.
Yeah. Ooh,
so
the
that
pilot
covers
figures.
most of the standard grades you'll encounter while shopping around for Gunpla.
You too can take, yes guys, you too can take out a second mortgage to own a PG new Gundam. Oh my god, not the PG new Gundam. Yeah, that one's coming out soon. It's not out yet, but yeah, that price, oh boy. It is large. It is really big. It's larger than the others. Only second? I need to watch more Gundam shows before buying one of these, but if there are any Gurren Lagann or Big O ones, I think there used to be. Yeah, they're old, right? There was a Gurren Lagann model. There was a Big O model. I remember talking about it with Nova, because Nova really likes Big O, and she was like, I wish there was a Big O model. I'm like, I think there is one. Yeah. I think Good Smile was actually making one. Or they already made one. I don't remember though. You can stab someone on new PG new Gundam. They're hard to get as of this time. I see. Hopefully maybe re-released one day. PGs are so nice but also expensive and hard to find space to display. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Did you know you could get your PG Gunpla at Zephyr Arcade for a pretty reasonable price and get it for 15% off with code NYAKAMA, plus you're guaranteed to get a free Emuri keychain if you do. Anyway.
I highly recommend starting with a high grade, as an average of $20 a kit is the perfect buy-in to see if these model kits are right for you. The smaller size compared to other grades is something that you, as a Warhammer collector, really shouldn't be fazed by, as if you've built an Imperial Knight, you can pretty much build, I don't know, like 80-90% of the model kits in the Gunpla range.
Imperial Knight,
said,
yeah.
If you are interested in the larger scale of a master grade, it's still not that much more pricey. Regardless,
oh, what the heck? That guy has a skull on his forehead.
In the larger scale of a master
That's Warhammer core right there. What do you guys think?
grade,
Does he come back? Wait.
still not that much more.
Yeah. that's Warhammer core, right? Kind of. Oh, that is Crossbone. Yeah, Crossbone's kind of Warhammer core. Nah, but it's more of a pirate skull though. You're right. Yeah, it's not really like the Warhammer-esque ones. This is a pirate skull. I'll enjoy my PG Endless Waltz Wing. Dude, that kit looks so pretty. Yeah. I've seen pictures of it before. Crossbone's a pirate spin-off and you see the One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Pricey. Regardless, just like in Warhammer, don't just buy something because it's cheap. Get a kit that you like. Sure,
Yeah.
you could save $10 by getting a powered GM instead of a Sinanju, but if you like the Sinanju more, you're going to enjoy the process more than if you got the powered GM.
Yeah.
Not to shit on the powered GM. I like the powered GM.
I like it too. Yeah, Power GM looks nice. I like the design.
Now to actually building the Gunpla. For this example,
Oh, wait, this is the guy from the other video. He had a kit of this guy, right? The what was he called? The Grimoire. The Grimoire. So many guns that start with G. Yeah, G Reco Grimoire. Yeah, I like this guy. I didn't even know he had a kid until earlier. Let's see. G Reco Grimoire kit. It's a HE, I think. Maybe. Yeah. He just looks like a funny version of GOG, so. We're MILFs here. Man, I love Federation mobile suits. I need that on a hat. I always said, man, I love fishing, but man, I love Federation. It's good too.
I'll be building a high-grade grimoire from Gundam Reconquista in G. When you
Oh,
take
he's
everything
building
out
it
of the
here.
box, this is what you'll see. The instruction book and multiple sprues. In the Gunpla scene, these may also be referred to as runners or gates. I'll be calling them runners out of habit. There's a bit more going on in there in general, but, you know, we'll keep going.
This is like the anatomy of plastic. in the lower right. Zugok and Ball. Oh, is the Ball Zeon as well? I didn't know that. Moderoids are like oversized HGs, but triple the price. No!
The first thing you do is check the runners for missing parts. This is easy as each runner is labeled with a letter to make identification quick, which you can compare to the runner overview usually found in your instructions. You'll also get a small runner of flexible plastic, usually in gray and covered in odd shapes and bits.
Oh.
These are your polycaps. They are essential to assembly, but sometimes they print one set and use it across a bunch of kits, so don't freak out if you end up with extras. If you stay in Gunpla for a while, you'll have like 9 million of these things anyways. So, from there...
Yeah, they're very bendy. The newest kit G-Reco has is a newer version of the G-Self. Oh, but it's a Gundam base exclusive. It's hard to get and it's sold out. No, rip, not the Gundam base exclusive. How old is this video? This video is from August 25th, 2022. So almost 3 years ago. Yeah, YouTube says 2 years ago, but it's actually almost 3 years ago. When you do find one, its price is ridiculous. No, they need to re-release it. It was a joke. Moody, say it slow. Zugok and ball. Zugok and ball. Did I do it right? Vallejo. 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 Anyway.
It's honestly just following the instructions to assemble the model. These are usually in Japanese, but just like Warhammer, it's all picture-based. Find the part you need for the step you're on, snip it out with your clippers.
I like the
in
orb.
Warhammer, you snip off part of the sprue, slice off any leftover bits, and sand it down, and it's mostly the same in Gunpla. If you aren't painting your Gunpla, you're usually trying not to damage the part as much as possible, as you can't cover up any mistakes down the line with filling putties or paint. With larger, smoother surfaces being more prevalent here, any damage you inflict on the model components are accentuated much more in the final assembly. Remember, your final product is usually at least 6 inches tall, so minor mistakes are a lot harder to hide. The common tactic here is to cut the part out far away from the piece, come back in and snip off enough to leave a little nub. From there, you use various sanding grits or your knife to sand away the nub that was left behind, moving to higher grits to polish the piece smooth if desired. People do it this way to prevent damage to the piece from dull clippers. This is also why you see premium products like God Hand clippers, which mitigate part damage, which minimizes cleanup. Whenever you get all your parts together, you're ready to assemble it. Gunpla is easy for people to get into because all the parts are push fit in assembly and don't require glue to put together.
This is the best part.
This applies to any kit from high grades up to perfect grades. Although if you want, you totally could use some plastic cement to close up any gaps or seams you deem unfit to live.
The snappy
sounds. Some pieces with articulation require you to place a polycap on the part before you snap it together, so be mindful of that. And that's it, really. Besides some small technical knowledge, assembling Gunpla is really that easy, and that's similar to Warhammer. You really don't have to worry about removing mold lines, as most kits either don't have mold lines or have minimal amounts of them, and glue is entirely optional. Even then, it's minimal. Maybe a loose V-fin or a loose panel or something.
This guy looks like a fun
honestly
kid.
Be surprised on the quality that you can get even with a straight assembly. Like I said, it's really easy for anyone to get into at all price points. I've been building Gunpla on and off since I was like 6. You technically don't even need a crafting knife, just clippers.
6, wow.
So it's the perfect option to give a little kid like, hey, here's a sanding stick and some old nail clippers. Go nuts, kid. Let's say, for example, you are not a 6-year-old, as I imagine a large...
I wish I was a cool 6-year-old who who built model kits.
Let's say, for example, you are not a 6-year-old, as I imagine a large portion of you are. Let's say you want to go a bit beyond basic assembly. You do a bunch of conversions for Warhammer, and you want to make a custom Gunpla. I hope no one's a 6-year-old. Is it doable? Is it easy? Yeah, actually, it's really easy. The systems of polycaps and ball joints make it so that it's really easy to just slot one kit's arms onto another's bodies, although you can run into some compatibility issues with the age of the kit. No, not the Gundam age kits, the age of the kits. With the release of Gundam Build Fighters, a show that heavily encourages the idea of making your own custom Gunpla, they've even begun to release accessory sets ranging from weapons to special connection converters, making it easier than ever to mash two kits you like together. Bandai has also...
I heard that the upcoming Gundam museum or Gunpla museum is gonna let you build your own model kit. I don't know to what extent, but I am very interested. I got my younger cousin 7 and EG, and she loved Gunpla. She asks me for new kits once in a while. Wait, that's so cute! Oh my gosh! Starting the kids early. That's crazy. I don't think 6-year-old me would have the patience.
Making it easier than ever to mash two kits you like together. Bandai has also slowly been moving most kits towards a standardized polycap set, and these days most kits are fully standardized, making conversions fairly simple. Unlike Warhammer, there's not a lot of green stuff work in Gunpla, with most scratch builds being made of styrene sheets, brass rods, with, milliput to kind of fill in any gaps. Scribing and scribing tools are also very prevalent as well, as Gunpla have a lot of flat areas that you can utilize to scratch in new panel lines.
Oh, yeah.
Now let's talk paints.
You can do
Quite
that.
frankly, the miniature wargaming scene is kind of in its own little world when it comes to painting. While most people hand brush on acrylics, which is doable and fine, that's what I do as well, many people in the Gunpla scene will opt to use an airbrush, which has a clear advantage on larger surfaces, or at least a spray can if they don't have one. There isn't a whole lot of brushwork in Gunpla, the majority of it being masking and airbrush work, so if you do a lot of that in Warhammer, you'll fit right in here.
Yeah.
Any kind of freehanding experience that you have in Warhammer as well will usually transfer over to Gunpla if you want to sketch on your own kind of custom emblem. People who build Gunpla and expect to handle their Gunpla a lot will also sometimes opt to use enamel or lacquer paints instead due to their increased durability. The same airbrush is commonly used to apply varnishes as well.
I'm so shocked you were standing on one leg back there.
The most common being a matte varnish to make a model look less toy-like. A lot of advanced modelers will treat their Gunpla like tanks, calling back to the real robot genre that spawned it all. Salt chipping, weather pigments, battle damage, oil washes, the works. Some even take it a step further with beautiful dioramas, dipping into areas like model train scenery construction. With such a basic assembly process, modelers are free to take the hobby as casually or as seriously as they'd like.
Yeah, we made it to the end. Gundam.
So that's it, I think. Or at least I hope that's everything. There's a good
so
chance
good.
I missed out on something, but usually a little Googling around will answer any questions you might have. Or you can drop a comment and either myself or somebody passing by will try to answer you. I hope I've inspired some Warhammer fans to peek their head into the mountain of Gunpla media available
And there's the Warhammer.
and check out the wonderful world of Gunpla. Gunpla is seriously fun, and I hope this helps give direction to those who have been interested but never quite pulled the trigger. So if this did help you, consider sending it to somebody else to help them out as well. Thank you for watching.
I'm sending it to you
have
guys.
A great day.
That was a good video. Yeah, build Gunpla, guys. Gunpla's fun. The enemies are fun too. watch and build Gunpla. Yeah, good set of videos. Yay, pachi pachi. Go sub to Lich's Laboratory. Thank you for the videos. They're fun to watch.